disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Life, I want to waste my pie. Oh my God, just seeing your name. Joe,
What's going on? Having some problems?
Angel, shortly. What'd you say?
You're going in and out like a robot. You can't tell on your
I don't
end?
know why.
Your internet okay?
No, I don't see anything on my end.
Oh, you good now?
All right. If this is your first time with us, I
freezing
want
up,
you
man.
to know we are members of the Martial Arts Internet Network. On Tuesdays, we got Steve Travis. Wednesdays is us Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Joe, and Angel. On Thursdays, you can get the Inside Scoop. Check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Internet Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Patreon. Joe, it's showtime.
Yes, sir. So we missed last week, so got a lot going on. Staying busy with the family and all that. Things at work are all right, but as far as the family, I feel like this last 2 weeks, like every event possible just all happened. It's crazy. So my oldest had a orchestra concert. Then my middle one had a band concert. And then my son had a choir concert. So yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we did all three of those. Yeah. So here's the thing I'm going to say about all that. I wish there was a better system because your kid goes up in one group, then you got to stay for all the other groups. And now your whole night is shot. And in my son's case, he was at the beginning of a talent show. So the choir came out, did a talent during the talent show, and then I had to watch 40 other people in the talent show because he wanted to stay for that.
Right.
And I get it. That's what you got to do as a parent and everything. But man, it just takes away your whole night, man.
Did you and your brother used to do different things like that for school?
Yeah, we both did band. I think he was done with band like freshman year, and I was done my senior year. Now I wanted to keep going with the band, but I had a really pushy teacher who literally. So I played the oboe. The oboe can't play a marching band.
Okay.
He wanted me to switch, which is a wind instrument. He wanted me to switch from that to a tuba and play in the marching band, which I would have had no problem doing, except for it also meant I would have to give up karate and wrestling for 6 months.
Okay. Now
that wasn't going to happen.
How old were you at this time? Like what belt?
I was going for my black belt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's.
So I had gotten my junior black belt at 14 because my school didn't hand out full-fledged black belts. They handed out peewee black belts for 14 and under or 13 and under, and then they handed out junior for 14, 15, and then at 16 you got to test for your full-fledged black belt. So I was in the middle of that. Now I should have got it 6 months before, but I had appendicitis during that time, so I didn't get to get my black belt at the time. I had to wait a whole another 6 months. It's nothing crazy, but that's how it was going. But I was doing that on top of wrestling, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, you can just quit all that and come do marching band." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. Like I like doing band, but this is just a hobby." And he did not like that. Like he was really upset with that. And I said, "Listen, man. Like I get it. I understand. Like this is your thing, but like karate's my thing, and wrestling I just found out like I really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was, it was one of the only school sports like I could actually do that I really was good at and enjoyed. So I was like, I'm not quitting that. Like, so yeah, I quit my last year. It's kind of a bummer. I would have liked to stick with it to the end, but it's just I can't be around that when people like push you like that. It doesn't sit right with me.
When it's something that you just really not into like that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it and I was pretty good at it, but like I just, I don't need somebody, getting on me like that. And he was a good teacher, so I didn't want to, I don't want him to have problems with me and me have problems with him. So I was just like, yeah, I'll go to the gym. That's fine. And I had fun in gym. So, and then so the last thing, yesterday, my son, my son Aiden, he entered this reflections contest. It was like a PTA competition throughout the whole district.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes from elementary all the way to the high school in the entire Oakland County district
Okay.
or Walled Lake school system, basically. And it's an art program. So you can enter like a painting, a drawing, a sculpture. You can enter a poem, photography, dancing, which they also counted karate because there was a girl from my son's school who from Task Karate actually. Um, she participated, and so they take this and you win in your school like they pick like four of the top from there.
Mm-hmm.
So he moved on from that with a painting. He did a painting of a wolf with like a moon in the background. I'll post it online. And yeah, did a really good job. So he moved on to district, and then from the district he moved on to state, and then that's where he stopped. So now
Okay.
they have kids going from state to nationals to I don't know if it goes farther than that.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool program that he entered, and so he got recognized for that. Yesterday.
Okay.
That was another 2 hours of my life.
Well, I'm sure he was happy you were there, man.
Yeah, it was cool. That was a neat thing. All the principals from each of the schools, they would come up and talk, award the kids from their school and then the next school and the next school. So my wife's a teacher in the district, so her school was there. So she was supporting them because some of them, I think, art. She's an art teacher, so the arts, speak to her. So it was cool.
Okay. All right.
How you been,
Cool.
man?
Man, I've been hanging in there, man. I just been busy these last few weeks, man. Um, we didn't record last week, and I was okay with that. Not recording last week. I was just been busy with a lot of stuff with work. Um, and that's just pretty much it, man. Over the weekend I got sick out the blue, man. Me and Melissa went out. We went out on Saturday night, and on Sunday morning, when I woke up on Sunday, man, I did not feel good at all. It was like a mix of like I felt like I had a hangover, but
Ooh,
I did have a drink when we went out Saturday night, but I had one drink.
yeah,
So
one drink ain't gonna do that.
yeah, and I had it earlier in the evening. I had it about 5:30, So I shouldn't have been hungover. But that's how I felt when I woke up. I just felt real queasy, real nauseous. Um it wasn't like, sometimes when you get nauseous, you feel like you're gonna, have to run to the bathroom. It was like
Yeah,
you think you might have to. That's even worse. Because if you gotta
I
go, you're just
agree.
gonna go and get that over with. But when they're just
Yeah.
kind of lingering around and you're feeling kind of queasy all day, man, I just didn't feel good on Sunday. And I pretty much stayed in bed. And I never stay in bed, but I didn't get up I woke up a couple of times, but I stayed in the bed until 3:30 on Sunday, 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Dang, yeah,
Yeah,
that's a whole
that's
day,
not
man.
me. Yeah, I had to text. Well, I called Champ's mom and told her, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna make it today. I don't think I'll be able to pick him up today. I'm just not feeling it today. I was like, maybe later.
Yeah,
I was like, let me wait and see how I feel later on. And then she just texted me back, like, don't worry about it, And I said, when she sent that, I said, okay, cool. I just stayed in bed, and I did get up. I got out, like I said, I got up about 3:30, 4 o'clock. went downstairs and me and Melissa watched a couple of movies or whatever, and I went right back to sleep. So Sunday, I was pretty much asleep all day. So you know what that means when you sleep all day.
Yep.
You'll wake up at night. So I probably went to sleep again at about 8:30, 9 o'clock. And I woke up at 1. And when I woke up at 1, it was that feeling like, okay, I'm wide awake now. So I was thinking like, okay, now this is about to be some trouble because I got to get up and go to work at some point,
Yep.
So I probably stayed awake till about 3:30, 4 in the morning, and had to get up at 6:30, 7 o'clock. So yesterday I was all off yesterday, and I don't even think I'm back all the way on today because I'm still feeling a little tired today. But at least the queasiness and the nauseous feeling, that's all gone. But it's just trying to get back adjusted to normal times, man. So
yeah, for sure.
And then I had to deal with the kids tonight. Had to deal with the students tonight. So some kids I'm getting ready for testing, which is next week for some of them. And then I have kids that's fighting Saturday at Alkebalan's tournament. So we're getting ready for that. So we got about 8 kids going there to compete.
That'll be good.
Yeah, that'll be good. Some doing form, some doing fighting, some are doing both. So it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Interesting tournament.
All right. Good.
Yeah,
I like that.
So John Wick, man. So this is the second time I've seen this movie. The first time I saw it was during the pandemic, 2020. Okay. When you're home and not doing anything. So, I saw it online and watched it, and I liked it when I first saw it. I liked it a lot. So this time, watching it again, I'm looking at it with different eyes because now I'm really paying attention to it, so we can talk about it on this show. But I still enjoyed it. It was still good. There really wasn't anything hokey or goofy or silly about this movie. I mean, it was pretty much serious, the whole movie.
I remember this. I remember seeing the trailer for this movie and saying, "Oh, I gotta go see this movie." And then it came out, and somehow I forgot about it. Did it come out during the pandemic?
I don't think so. No, because I see it. Yeah,
I don't know what happened. Somehow I missed it. I'm gonna have to go back and check the date. Maybe like my son was getting treatment at the time or something. Like I'm gonna have to look because I completely forgot about it.
Okay.
And then like literally, because I would have went and saw this in the theater. Like I was all about this movie. I love Keanu Reeves, and all that. And when the trailer's saying, "Oh, his best movie since The Matrix," I was like, "Oh, I definitely gotta see that." And I just forgot about it. And then I was at my father-in-law's, and he just got it on video. And he's like, "Oh my God, have you seen John Wick?" And I'm like, "I totally forgot about that movie. Was it any good?" And he said, "Oh my, it's one of the best movies I've ever seen." He got all hyped about it. He's like, "You got to see it." Well, he has a movie theater in his basement. So I'm like, "Oh, hell yeah." Like, I still get to see it in the theater.
So I just looked it up, and it came out in 2014. The first one, the one we're reviewing.
Okay. So yeah, that might have been right around the time. Yep, that was right around the time my son got sick.
Okay.
So that's probably why I missed it.
So I saw it 6 years later. I saw it in 2020, 6 years later.
There you go. So yeah, so we watched it. We ended up watching it twice. And then he let me borrow it, and I think I watched it a couple more times. And so yeah, I've seen this movie. I love this movie. It's a great movie. As far as the series, I think they're good. But I do remember the second one kind of not being as good as the first, so it's kind of a letdown to me. And then the third one picked it right back up. And the fourth one looks great.
That's what a lot of people say. That's what a lot of people say.
I'm going to have to do it because I'm going to have to watch the second one and kind of remember. Because I remember the second one maybe, like, there was a lot of good action in it, but I think they tried to cram too much plot as well. And if I remember correctly, I'm going to have to remember. Okay. Now, we're doing the interview of my friend who's the John Wick stunt double. I don't think he was a part of the first one. I think he got in on the second one. And then the third, for sure, I know he was in. and part of the 4th, because he was posting stuff, sending me pictures on set and everything, and I was like looking, I'm like, wait a second, I was like, did you just send me a picture of Keanu? He's like, no man, that's me, and I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, are you kidding me? I was like, because what he did is he's got the hair in the 5 o'clock shadow, but then he was only taking the pictures from the side, so I couldn't see his face. I'm like, oh, of course, it was crazy. So
why don't you go ahead and talk about that for the listeners so they'll know what we're doing on Thursday?
So Thursday we're gonna interview. His name is Jackson Spidell. I met him at a tournament during the MKC times. What was that? The Michigan Karate Circuit. And I think we're a few years apart. So if I was starting around 14, 15, he was probably like 12 or something like that. And so he's out of Holland, Michigan with Tom Fabiano. And then I think his junior year of high school, his family moved to St. Louis. And I think he was training with Terry Kramer at the time.
Okay.
And he was competing more on the national circuit. And then he also joined Sideswipe, I believe, the next year. And they were on like America's Got Talent. That was with Matthew Bowles, a couple other people, some big name, and yeah, they were traveling around. He was competing nationally. He kind of, I think nowadays he would be like in a tricking or like a CMX kind of forms.
Okay.
Because if you look him up on YouTube, some of his old auditions and some of his karate tournaments, and like he's just doing tricks and flipping and all kinds of stuff. So like he looks like someone that would do like the parkour stuff.
Okay.
So I know that after he graduated from high school, he like almost immediately moved to California, and he was staying, I believe he was staying with an aunt, and he was going to school for like acting, and he was getting like commercials. He did a few small things, and then a lot of video game stuff. That's how a lot of people start out
doing video games.
Yeah, I think a lot of the karate people, if they while trying to get like into some of the mainstream stuff, they'll do like video games and stuff like that to make some money.
Okay.
And then he did there was a reality show on MTV. I'm gonna have to look it up, with Ernie Reyes Jr. It only lasted one season.
Oh, I never heard of that.
Yeah, I'll look it up. I actually found some footage of it a while back, and they would do like obstacle courses, and then compete, and they would spar each other at the end. And if whoever won the sparring match would move on, and the other one would be eliminated. And he made it to the finals of that.
But he's a forms. He's a form. These are forms guy.
No, he's a triple threat. He does He's done all three since I can remember.
Okay.
And was winning a lot in all three. So,
okay.
Yeah. So he's we kind of fell out. Been more of a online relationship the past 10 years or so. But I still hit him up, talk to him every once in a while. I'm not sure the full story of how he got into the business of being a stunt double, and I think he's actually works or owns a company with another guy that does stunt coordinating, as I believe they call it.
Okay.
So he's been, not only does he do John Wick, I know I looked up some of his filmography. I think he did some work with the Hunger Games. And then I know he does a lot of the Marvel stuff because his current wife, who was his girlfriend before and then now his wife, she works for Marvel. I believe head of security or part of the security team. So,
okay.
Naturally you would.
Oh, he's deep into Hollywood.
I mean, as far as the stunt work goes, there's a couple of interviews where Keanu mentions him. I think they even have one together, if I remember correctly. I used to look him up. So, I mean, he's got his name out there.
Is that something that you would ever want to do?
I mean, it would be cool, but to me, like, if I was going to be a movie star and like that was my way in, Yeah, why not?
Hmm.
But see, I'm not into all I'm not the I like thrills, but like those kind of people, like they're falling from, you know,
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah, I mean they're falling from 100 feet onto a beanbag basically, and crazy stuff like that. So you
Yeah,
know, those people like Jack, they're breaking bones and being crazy. So,
yeah, exactly.
but I
Like,
mean, it would be cool. It seems like a fun life.
I don't know about stunt. I don't know about stunt doubles. Maybe a fight double or something, but I don't know about doing stunts.
It takes a lot of dedication, man. And you're the one, they're putting you out there so they don't hurt their $1 million guy. So,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like some of the stuff Jackie Chan does, and even Tom Cruise. Like I don't even know why he wants to do his own stunts.
I think when you're as big as Tom Cruise, it just looks good on your resume. I think it's part of his ego. His ego tells him, if I do this, I'm better. I'm better than everybody.
Yeah, I guess that's what he wants to think. I guess I don't know.
Pretty much.
I don't know.
The crazy thing about this movie, so I remember the first time I watched it, and I was like, it starts off, you got John Wick, who's played by Keanu Reeves, and he's basically looked like he's on death's door.
Hmm.
He's in a car, he's bleeding, he's kind of laying on the ground, he's watching a movie, looks like a homemade movie of him and either his girlfriend or his wife or someone. And that's kind of the stuff you do like when you're dying. And then he kind of goes away, and you got this well-mannered gentleman who's not bleeding, who kind of just looks like he lives an ordinary life. Wakes up at 6 o'clock, drinks his coffee, and then so the movie starts off. I think the first 20 minutes maybe is a little slow.
Yes.
And so I just remember watching it. I'm like, what is so good? Is this one of those thinker movies? Like I thought this movie was like an action film, but then you when the action starts, it doesn't stop. It's just
No.
nonstop. Just everybody's dying. So we find out John Wick's wife is dying, and it's her last moments together. It's sad. He's kissing her, he's saying goodbye. It looks like she has like cancer or something like that.
Yeah, I
We
was
don't
about
really
to
know
ask
what's
you.
going on.
Yeah, they don't really explain that at all.
No, they never do. But from what they talk, it looked like she has some kind of cancer.
Okay.
And so it's him going through the funeral. He's got a couple of friends visiting, and then he's in the grieving process. And this is something I've never thought about because I really don't spend a lot of time thinking about my own death. But I understand where his wife was worried about him. And because she was worried about him, she set something up a day after, her death, her funeral. And she sent him a present, and with a note, a very nice, sweet note, made him, upset, made him cry. But she basically told him, like, he needs to move on in life, and to help move on, he needs to learn to love again. And so she says, here to start that process, she gives him a puppy and tells him to start there. It's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting, but at the same time, man, a lot of people are attached to their animal, their
Yes.
pet. It's like a family member, right? And when
Hmm.
that pet passes on, a lot of people take it hard. I've never experienced that before because I've never had a pet. So for me, it's a little hard to understand that connection with, an animal once it dies. I would think that even if whatever happens to this puppy, if it had lived a full life, like would that been like him reliving his wife dying all over again? Like 13, 14 years from now, when that dog
Well,
dies.
spoiler alert, that's pretty much what happens, because there's a lot of memes that make fun of this movie because they're like, oh, this man's going on a tear because they stole his car and killed his dog.
Oh, I
But he
understood that.
does,
I got that.
that's what I'm saying. But he does explain exactly what that dog represented in his process.
Hmm.
That was the very last gift that was given to him by his wife. And the name meant something because he kind of, when he saw the name Daisy, he kind of went, of course. Like, but you could kind of tell, like, he's a little rigid when it comes to taking care of this dog. So, like, you know, there's more than just his wife dying here. The man has been through some stuff, which we are going to find out, especially if you've seen all 3 movies. Like this man, you know, he's lived some crazy stuff. So he puts the dog to bed and they go to sleep and they wake up in the morning. And this part killed me because I've never thought about this. So he don't have nothing for this dog yet because he didn't know this dog was coming.
Right.
So he's having breakfast and he's having a bowl of cereal and the dog's just kind of whining and looking at him. And he gives the dog a bowl of cereal. Now, the funny part to me is he pours the milk in the cereal for the dog. It just made me laugh.
I didn't even pay attention to that. Yeah, it all seemed to make sense when he did that to me. Because I never took care of an animal, so I would hope I wouldn't pour the milk in there also. I probably wouldn't know what to do.
My thing is this, especially a puppy, like a dog itself is going to be messy. That's going to make a very big mess. Yeah, I would have just given him the dry cereal or some bread or something.
I probably would have ended up calling Avery or Morgan or somebody, asking like, "What the hell am I supposed to do with this?" I don't know. Or my stepdaughter Kara. I would have called her and asked her like, "What the hell am I supposed to do? Like, bring me something. I don't know what type of dog food he eats. Puppy chow, something. You know."
Well, I mean, John Wick says we're going to get you some kibble in the morning. So I mean, whatever. So. Him and the dog, they get in the car and he goes to the gas station and he's at the gas station. Now he's driving a 69 Stingray Mustang, I believe. Nice black, fully loaded. Like this thing, it's a nice car. Even though I'm a Camaro guy, but it is a nice car.
Yeah. What's up, Angel?
What's up? What's going on, man? We're just at the beginning. He's at the gas station. This is the first time we run into Yosef. And Yosef and his crew kind of come up, and Yosef likes the car, and he tells John Wick, you know, nice car, I love dogs, whatever, and then he wants the car. Like he's one of those, he must be somebody, we don't know yet, but he must be somebody because he basically says like, how much for the car? John Wick tells him car's not for sale, and he says something in Russian like, everything has a price, bitch. John Wick understands Russian and tells him not this bitch and moves on with his life.
Love it.
Now, this next part is cool because if I had a nice car, I'd want something like this. He goes like onto like a runway or a truck stop or something that's wide open, and he just driving. He's driving super fast. He's spinning around, drifting. He's trying to stop on a dime. I mean, what else do you, if you have a car that fast, you want to open it up. This would be amazing. I would love this.
That's not my thing. Driving fast is not my thing. I mean, it looked cool, but I wouldn't want to do it.
I don't know if I would like driving fast because I've never had a fast enough car. I mean, on the freeway, I drive a little fast.
I had a Charger, and I never even pushed it.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, I had a Charger and never pushed it.
I got a couple of friends that have had some nice cars and then have rented like some decent cars, and it was fun. So if I had something nice like that, I would like to open it up. So that's just me. Angel, what's going on? How you been?
Bro, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm tired, bro. Like
Oh, look, you're at the this is the first time I've seen you at the club.
Yeah. So this is my.
And I see Gene's favorite friend in the background, Bob.
Oh, Bob.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say nothing about Bob because of the Plowden connection with Century. I'm not gonna say anything.
I know.
He had to get this one.
I even got Bully Bob.
What is Bully Bob? What's the difference?
It's Bob's son.
Is that what it is?
I'm not
Why
even,
they call him?
God, I'm not even trying to bullshit shit. Look at Gene.
What? Why do they call him Bully Bob?
Because you like for kids, this is the bully.
Oh, okay. I get it. That's funny. I like it. Look at. I think Gene likes Bully Bob better than Bob.
Give me a regular punching bag. I don't need Bully Bob, Little Bobby, none of it. I don't need none of it.
I'm just telling you, yo, this is Bully Bob. So we got everything over here, man. Yeah, this is cool.
Perfect.
I had to get some training in. Actually, I'm gonna leave him right here just to
I love it. So John's back at home. He's sleeping, and the dog gets up. Now he thinks the dog has to go outside, but the dog realizes someone's in the house, and so someone busts John up with a baseball bat. They're looking for the keys for the car, so it's obviously the people we just saw, and they're speaking Russian.
So I had an issue with this part.
Why?
For two reasons. Number one, like, how did they know where he lived? Like, they follow him around all day. Number one. Number two, somebody like John Wick is going to have a crazy security system. You're not just breaking into his house. It's not like it's not like it's a regular house. He's going to have some type of sweet ass security system. So,
but frankly, because we know now about John Wick, like, I don't care if you get the jump on him. You should. This shouldn't have went down like this.
No, it shouldn't have.
And you're right on that. Well, during this whole thing, the dog kind of got a little crazy, and so they killed the dog. So the next morning, John Wick wakes up. He's all bloody and messed up, and he's real sad because of the dog that his wife just gave him. Dog's only, still a puppy, and they killed the dog.
You know what was messed up about that, though? They wanted him to see that they killed this dog. Then they dragged the dog in front of him.
Or dragged him to the dog, either one.
Yeah, when he opened his eyes, that's the first thing he saw was the dog.
That whole thing was messed up.
Yeah.
So he buries his dog. He's cleaning up the mess. And now we're at a chop shop. And I love this part because this is basically where the movie starts. So we're at a chop shop, and John walks in. He's looking for his car. He knows the guy at the chop shop. How he knows this guy, we don't know yet, but like I said, there's more than meets the eye with John Wick. So he asks him straight up, is the car here? And he tells him, no, man, the car's not here, but it was. And he goes into the story of what happened. Yosef and his gang showed up with the car, and this guy basically told him, where'd you get that car? Did you kill the guy you took the car from? And they said, no, what does it matter where I got the car? And he tells them straight up, get that car out of here. Like, he knows who John Wick is.
Yeah.
And he was
scared.
He's pissed. He told him straight up, get that car out of here. And now Yosef is someone because he's basically going around acting like he's Mr. Bad. And when this guy tells him to leave, like, he's pissed. He's like, you know who I am. You know what I can do. And like, you're going to be done. He goes, I don't care. Get out. And so he basically, this kid tells him, I own you, this and that. He goes, no, man. I don't work for you. I work for your dad. So his dad's someone important. And he punches my man in the face. Now they're acting like there's going to be a problem for him punching him. And that means that John Wick is someone serious because he didn't care. He straight up didn't care. So John explains that. And so he asks him who he is. And he tells him he's Yosef, whatever the last name is. And John Wick knows that name. He knows who that is. He knows who his dad is. And this, like I said, this is where the movie starts. And then we go and we meet the dad. The dad's name is Vigo. And from what I can understand, they never really did say what he was, but he's basically Russian mafia. Drug trafficking, people trafficking, he runs the city. And he's talking to his son. He gives his son a drink, and he just socks him in the stomach, and he throws up. But like I said,
that's a hard punch.
Everybody is hitting this poor kid. Now, the funny thing about this kid is if you're a fan of why can't I think of it? Game of Thrones. Did you watch Game of Thrones?
I never did.
Oh man, it's funny because this guy was nobody during this movie, and then Game of Thrones came out, and he was a big character.
Okay.
But the funny thing about his character is his character, like one of the first or second scenes, got his manhood cut off.
Oh.
Yeah, ooh. So he's Theon Greyjoy.
Ooh.
And his dad is like, I think his dad is not a king, but like a lord. And so he was fitting to take over, but he got into a situation where instead of killing him, someone did that to him. So it just made me laugh because I'm like, this guy is like some mob boss's kid, but then it's Theon Greyjoy to me. So that's all I could think of. But that's not. We also got Mayhem from the Allstate commercials as Vigo's right hand man. And
now
that
I know him from Law and Order. That's why I know him.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that's where he came from. Well, I like him better as Mayhem.
Angel, let's get Angel into this. What did you think about the first half of the movie? The first part of the movie, I should say.
It was a little slow. I think I was expecting it to be like a little bit more action packed in the beginning, but I'll be honest with you, I actually never watched. This is like my first time watching John Wick 1, and probably gonna be my first time watching John Wick 2. I watched I watched John Wick 3. And the only reason why I watched it is just because I went out with some of my friends. I never even like knew about it before. I just watched the third one and that was it. So it was I think from me watching 3 and 3 it was like action packed from what I remembered. I was like, wow, this is starting slow. So I was just more or less just surprised about that. That's really it. And like in the beginning half of the movie, I was just more or less on that side of it. I was like, I just was so shocked again because I never watched John Wick, and I only.
That's surprising to hear. That's real surprising. I thought, like, this is one of your movies. Like, this is up your alley.
You want to know what I watched? You want to know what I watched at this time that I didn't watch John Wick? And I think the reason why is because I watched The Equalizer, and I thought like The Equalizer was better. Like it was like I heard them compare them, and they said The Equalizer was like better. But I don't know if people said that just because it was Denzel. Like that's why. You know what I mean? So, that's really the only reason why. But
okay, so I can see the comparison.
Yeah, you can see it, right? Like that's what
they're completely
two totally different things, completely different. But
because the skill level and what's going on in this one. So the thing that with this movie, when the action does start, because there is a few bits of martial arts in this movie, but it's a lot of gunfighting.
Yeah, I was looking for the martial arts. I didn't see much of any. I mean, I saw a little,
but the director of this and the one setting up the fights, they came up with a new. And if you kind of watch it with this knowledge, they call it gun fu.
Okay, all right.
I understand that sounds silly, but come on, dude. Have you ever seen some of the stuff he was doing with that gun was crazy.
Listen,
I mean, I'm not knocking it.
And hey, listen, in the streets, we call that a pistol whip, and that's how we do it. So you just hit you like that.
So Vigo calls the chop shop, and he wants to know why he hit his son. And he tells him straight up, he goes, yeah, I hit your son. And he says, can I ask you why? And he goes, because he killed John Wick's dog and stole his car. And the dad literally says, okay, and hangs up. He's not even mad anymore. Now he's mad at his son.
Right.
So like I said, man, and the dad goes to tell the son exactly what's going on because the son is very confused. He's like, this is just some punk. I'll go kill him. And we'll be back. Everything's fine. And he goes, no, you don't understand. John Wick was an associate of ours. And like basically everything you see here, our whole operation started because of him. And they called him Baba Yaga. And that means boogeyman in Russian. And the son is still like, really? The boogeyman? Like you're afraid of the boogeyman? And the dad continues to explain to him, John Wick is not the boogeyman. He's the one you send to kill the boogeyman. So that right there tells you pretty much what you need to know. In Russian, apparently, the boogeyman is like the scariest while scary. And you got the guy you send to kill that person. Like, oh no, we're in for a whole lot of trouble. And so, like I said, this is where the movie takes off because with that in mind, the dad continues to explain that John Wick had worked for him for a very long time and came to him saying he wanted out. And he assumes because he met his wife. He wanted to get married, start a life. He wanted out. So they gave him a job, what the dad called an impossible job. Like no one should be able to do this. And John Wick did it. He just killed everybody, their mom, their kids, just all of them to get out. And he got out and got married. And now the one thing that he had left from his wife you just took away from him. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. That's all I'm saying.
The son,
Go ahead,
I don't
guys.
think he ever understood. I don't think the son ever really understood that.
He
Because
didn't.
even toward the end, all he couldn't understand, only thing he could say was, it's a dog. He just didn't understand.
I mean, this movie cracks me up because every time, so the dad calls John Wick and asks him like, "Can we work this out? Like, come on, we're old friends." And he just hangs up on him.
Yeah, he
like,
doesn't
that's
even
your
say
answer.
anything. Yeah, he didn't even say anything.
He just hangs up on him. And now there's so much to this movie because he goes down the basement, he busts out all his old stuff. He's got these special gold coins. He's got his weapons. He's got a suit and everything. And you learn more about that in the next couple of movies.
What do you guys do in that situation? If you're the dad, what do you do? Like, this is your son. This is your son. And he really messed up.
I would probably do exactly what the dad did, but the dad, even while doing that, didn't believe it was going to work.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the dad straight up, he puts the son in a safe house, surrounded with guards. He puts out a contract to other assassins, and he even goes to the number one assassin, who's John Wick's best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And basically tells him, "I'll give you $4 million to kill." Wait, he said, "Will you kill John Wick for $4 million?" And he says, "Sure." And his name is Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Marcus plays a big part down the road.
Mm-hmm.
So, but every time we see this dad, every time they come to him and basically say John Wick got away, he's not surprised. He's never surprised.
Mm-mm.
I mean, he starts right off. He sends 12 people to his house. He kills them all like a minute.
Yeah, I wouldn't even wasted my time doing that.
Exactly. I said the same thing. Like, what was the point? And even the police come over for a noise complaint.
Oh, that was funny.
The police comes over and says, "Hey, John, what's going on?" He goes, "Noise complaint?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You working?" He goes, "No, just working some things out." And the police goes, "Okay, have a nice night," and walks away.
Yeah, and there's bodies laying down behind him.
Yes.
John is bleeding.
And a cleanup crew shows up. So there's a whole nother system here that we don't know about that we're going to learn about in a couple of movies. But this is crazy. Now, I will say this. Go ahead.
What I was thinking was they actually can continue movies based upon this without John Wick in the movie. Like, there's a whole different. Yeah, they could definitely do different spinoffs because there's a whole world building thing going on with this movie. From the cleanup crew to that assassin hotel, all those different assassins that are just there hanging out.
Gene, that's what they get into in the second and the third movie.
The third one, I remember.
All about that.
The third one, I remember he went up, he got up. I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin who the bad guy was, but you know who it is.
I don't. But go ahead. Don't ruin it for me. I'll watch.
No, but
no, it's good.
You know what? It really gives off a Game of Death type vibe.
To a whole nother level.
Yeah, but it's like you could see them copying the same going up the ladders as a new person, a new type of fighting style, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Like a new fight that he has to go through the assassin hotel kind of. But that's I remember that from the third one that's where I kind of
they're going to get into more about this whole organization. It's very well put together, but also when you have things like that, there's also going to be corruption because that's too much power.
Yeah.
So, the other thing that I want to see, because they could do I want to see where did his training come from.
Yeah.
I
was wondering about that too, Joe.
He doesn't seem military.
Mm-mm.
This is straight up, this is assassin training. So I want to see where that comes in. I would like to see either a prequel or just a backstory to Like, how did he get into this business, and where was his training? I mean, they could just do two or three prequels on that if they wanted to. Anyhow, so skip ahead a little bit.
It kind of reminded me of Batman, like the way Batman got trained by the League of Assassins, Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, that's what it
probably would be something similar to that. So John heads over to this hotel, and right off the bat, you realize like this isn't an ordinary hotel. Like, this is an assassin's hotel.
But they're acting like it's a normal hotel.
Yes, they do. But I mean, he only pays with one coin. It's a special coin. So it must have some kind of meaning because everybody wants these coins. And John had he had hundreds of them. So I don't know how you earn these coins, but like they're a big deal. So
you got to go to the Mushroom Kingdom, man. You got to go through a whole thing. You know, Mario's working his way through the system now.
So he gets a room. He's talking to former associates because he knows everybody here apparently. And he's getting reacquainted with people because he's been out of the game for a while. And now he's trying to find out where he can find Yosef. And nobody's really trying to talk to him. But he does find out where he can find him. And he's at a bathhouse or a club with a bathhouse under.
Something like that.
I'm not really sure. It was something like that. Now, this part cracks me up because he shows up to the head security guy, tells him, basically puts a gun on him and says, get out of here, take the day off. And the guy listens. And then he goes in, and as each person is checking in, so they don't miss their check-in, he's killing them. One guy checks in, dead. Next guy checks in, dead. Next guy checks in, dead. Until he gets to, I forgot this guy's name. It's like Vince or something like that. And he's the one who's watching over Yosef. He's also the one that I believe killed the dog.
Okay.
So he's in the bathroom, and John just walks in, kills his guard, and walks up to him and basically tells him, "Where's Yosef?" And this guy's trying to be a hard ass, but I mean, literally right away, he doesn't seem like I don't know how he's supposed to be protecting Yosef because he doesn't seem like he knows how to fight. I mean, I didn't even see him try to throw a punch. He just tells him, buzz off. So he drowns him, and he gets the information he wants, and then he kills him. So Yosef is in the basement, and he's got 6 guards. John takes care of that. Now, this part got me because he had a chance to kill him, and he didn't take it right there. So I don't know if he wanted to.
I think only because there were other people. I think it was because other people were around, and he did have a good shot. And I think wasn't he fighting somebody? Was he fighting someone when that happened? When he looked at him, or he was distracted or something? Because he did see him. They locked eyes with each other.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Now, he falls off a balcony, but still kills the guy that threw him, which was crazy. And he kind of just stumbles away. He's got a gunshot. He goes back to the hotel, and he asks if the doctor's in. They send a doctor out to fix him up. And the doctor not only fixes him up, but he says, "What kind of range of motion will I have?" And the doctor says, "Well, if you still need to work, take these, and you'll still be able to move. You'll just tear your stitches open," which is nuts. So what did he give him? Like something to clot the blood or something? Like, I don't understand that.
I don't know, man.
Now, on top of that, you see Marcus has a sniper rifle on him, and this girl he was talking to earlier, who Vigo said $4 million to kill him and break the rules of the hotel, which I don't even know what the rules are yet, but she takes this quote-unquote deadly contract to break the rules. Marcus has a chance to shoot him, but instead shoots the pillow next to him. So now we know Marcus ain't trying to kill him. Marcus is helping him.
Yeah.
Now,
when I saw that, I didn't know if he was doing that to help him or to wake him up because the girl was coming, because she was coming in the door.
That's what it was.
Time.
Yes, he was waking him up, but he could have just shot him,
got
his $4 million, and been done.
Right.
So obviously you don't want to kill him unless he's saving it for the end? So I don't know. So him and this girl, they tussle and everything, and he holds her up. and he hands her off to a guy next door named Harry, gives him a coin and says, catch and release. And then
everybody's just acting like they're just everything is so normal too. It's just
this is the life of an assassin, I guess.
It was like, oh, you spilled something on the ground. Oh, you need some help. Is everything okay? Like nobody is saying like, what the hell's going on? Nobody's shocked or surprised or anything about anything.
Assassins.
Yeah.
What do you think? So to save the girl's life, he basically says, "Listen, you got to give me something." So she tells John where Vigo's operation, like his main stash, is set up, and it's a church in Little Russia. I didn't know there was such thing as Little Russia. Every movie always has like a Little China, but I never heard of Little Russia. Right. So that was interesting to me. So he goes there. He just busts his way in, starts shooting people, killing people. They're all telling him, "You know whose place this is?" He's like, "Hell yeah, I know who it is. That's why I'm here." So he burns the whole operation, just burns it down. Vigo and his people show up. John kills all of them except for Vigo and gets captured. Now, I don't know if he wanted to get captured because he didn't seem very scared. And basically, they were set up to kill him. And, Vigo is trying to tell him, like, come on, man. Like, let it go. We'll get you a new dog, get you a new car. I don't have to kill you. You can come work for me again. And he's not having it. Like, he's laughing at Vigo because he goes, "Do you realize what you just did? Like, you burned my whole operation down." And he goes, "Yeah, I kind of enjoyed that." Go ahead, Gene.
Oh, no, I wasn't about to say
I thought you had something else to say. I thought that was funny. Like, he was like, "Yeah, I kind of enjoyed that." And Vigo's just pissed.
Well, one thing, all of these guys, did any of these guys, the Russian guys, did they know that his wife gave him that dog?
Vigo knew. Vigo knew exactly what it meant. Because he told the son, he goes, "Do you realize?" Because the son was like, "What is this dude's problem? It was just a dog." He's like, "His wife gave him that dog. Like, you don't understand." That's why his dad was so mad. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The dad knew. Now, Marcus helps out again because they're going to kill John Wick. And Marcus takes one of the guys out, giving John a chance to take everyone out. And this is the part in the movie where I have a little bit of an issue because John kills everybody except for Vigo. And he basically tells Vigo, "I'm going to kill you. Give me your son." Now, if this dad is so worried about his son, just let John kill you and move on with your life. But obviously he can't do that because he don't want to die. So he gives his son up, knowing John Wick is going to kill his son. But then he's going to be pissed after that happens. You had a chance to save your son. You just had to die. So no offense, but you're not very...
I think that dad was thinking like, well, you know what? I know that John is eventually going to find my son anyway.
Yeah.
That's a messed up situation for him. He was in a messed up situation.
Oh, altogether, 100%. So he tells them where the son is. He's at a safe house. The Vigo even tells them, like, they know you're coming. He goes, "But we all know that doesn't matter." And he was right. He took all the guards out, even the one in the safe house, from 100 yards away. And he runs up on Yosef, and Yosef is trying to be like, talk to him about it, and he just shoots him. He just shoots him, one shot to the chest, one shot to the head, done.
That's it.
He don't want to hear what you had to say. And the funny thing
he was mid sentence.
The dad later said he thanked him for at least making it a fast death. I thought that was crazy. Like, thanks for not making my son suffer, even though you're the one that hung him out to dry. So he goes back to the hotel, and because the girl attacked him in the hotel, they give him a car as like a sorry that we let this happen. And I think they gave him a Camaro. Yeah, it's a nice little SF. I don't know what year. Now, the girl that was trying to kill John ended up killing the guy he handed over to, Harry. And then she was trying to find John and kill him. And she noticed Marcus and John talking. So she kind of realized Marcus was helping John out the whole time instead of trying to kill him. So that ends up being bad for Marcus because Vigo and his guys follow him home, and they take care of him. They mess him up pretty bad. Call John up and talk about how they know and they're pissed. And he tries to go and save Marcus, but it's too late. So now he's just all around mad altogether. Now he's
that was dumb. I don't think they should have did that. Like, why kill?
Because Vigo's mad because his son's dead, even though he gave him up. And Marcus could have killed John and saved the son a while ago. So,
yeah.
And so, yes, Vigo's pissed. So now Vigo, because he revoked the contract on John, but now I think he re-upped it.
And, hold on. Angel, mute yourself until you say something because we're getting some background noise from you.
Hold up.
So
is there any background?
No, you're good now. It's going after Vigo. Now, this part kills me because Vigo's lost it. Now that John's after him, he's basically given up. His people are trying to save him. The Allstate Mayhem guy, he's freaking out. He's going like, oh, I knew he was going to find us. Give me a gun. And Vigo's laughing. Vigo's laughing his ass off. Because he knows. He knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, that guy had been freaked out for a while, though.
Yes, he had.
I think it's funny to watch him get freaked out because it's like when you see him.
Okay, but I'm laughing because he says, "Give me a gun," and Vigo hands him a gun and is messing with him. But I'm like, "What are you going to do with the gun?" He gets the gun, he gets a shot and takes it, and he misses. He hits the door of his car. Meanwhile, John
Allstate, he would have been fine,
right? It was that whole scene was killing me because he didn't even get out of his car. He's drifting and driving, and he's just killing people with his car, shooting people outside the car, everything. And now it's just him and Vigo tries to run him off the into the lake or the ocean, wherever they are. I don't even know, off the bridge. And so they get out, and their guns and bullets are flying. And Vigo tries one last ditch effort to say, "Put the guns down, no weapons, no knives. Let's mano y mano." Which again, I don't know why. You're going to lose that fight. Did he even get a punch in?
I didn't see it.
Nope.
I don't think he did. So I think he stabbed him with a knife though, because he did have a wound, or it was the same wound from earlier that was opened up. So he kills Vigo. He kind of is, he's done with his quest. And I was starting to think this was going to be a one and done kind of movie, because then we go back to the beginning where he's laying on the ground. He's watching a video of his wife, and he's kind of given up. And then she says, in the video, she says, "Get up, John." Right. And he just gets up like it's a Rocky movie. And they're screaming his name, and Adrian's telling him to fight, get up, or Mick's telling him, "Let's go." So he gets up and he walks over to must have been a vet hospital.
Yeah.
And he gets a couple of gauze pads, a stapler, like a staple gun, staples himself up. Oh, and then what does he do? Oh, he grabs a pit bull. Because I don't think anybody's
out of all of the dogs that were there.
Well, that other puppy was a little frail, so I figured maybe he figured a pit bull would fare a little better if anybody tried to kill it.
Yeah, I guess.
So that basically kind of ends the movie. Him and the dog walk off. I'm assuming they're going home. He's got some cleaning up to do.
Well, not him, but he's gonna have those guys come through. Well, they already were there.
Through, but I thought the windows and stuff were a little busted out. They didn't fix that, did they?
I don't work for them. I mean, I would be upset if I was him and they didn't. They should do it. They should do everything.
So this takes us into the second movie, and the second movie basically was going to pick up pretty much right there. And the second movie, like I said, I enjoy this movie. This this would probably be my close. I don't know. Have I given an A+ yet?
I have no idea, man.
I don't think I have.
How are we supposed to know?
I don't think I have given an A+ yet because I'm trying to think of what movie I would have given an A+ to. But I'm still not going to give it for this one. I'm just going to give it an A.
Yeah,
because I do love this movie, but
I'm giving it an A also.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. It's good acting, good action, and it's just crazy. Now, I do remember the second movie is not quite as good. The second movie was a letdown compared to this one, but the third one picks it right back up.
So. Yeah, the second one I heard wasn't that good, but I know the third one was like really good. That's why I'm excited to see the fourth one.
Yeah. So again, for our Patreon listeners, we're going to interview. His name's Jackson Spidell. He's John Wick's or Keanu Reeves' stunt double for these movies. And he does Marvel movies as well. And he's a good guy. He's got a lot of he's high energy, so I think he'll be a good interview.
And that's going to be exclusively on Patreon. So make sure that you become a subscriber and join us on Patreon so you can listen to that interview. Angel, what did you give the movie? What grade?
So I'm gonna be honest. My grade is funky. Okay, I give it a B only because I watched 3. So I expected something, because I didn't know, like I didn't watch the other ones. If without that, I probably would give it like an A. I actually thought the story was like knowing where the story's gonna go and knowing that they made multiple movies. It was actually really like well thought out. Just because I watched the third one and like how we said, like the third one was action packed. Wouldn't you say, Joe?
Third one was great.
Yeah, the third one was like really good. So like, to me, like I said, I just started off slow, which I wasn't expecting. But that's like my only issue.
Okay, all right. So that's gonna wrap it up for this week of Fist Kicks and Flicks. Make sure you.
I'm not gonna ask him.
Nah, I'm not gonna ask that guy. Make sure you guys take a look and listen to our Patreon. I have no idea what our Patreon address is. Look for the Martial Arts Internet Network on Patreon. I'm assuming because I have no idea. Angel, you going to Ocean State? You competing there?
I don't know, man. It's up in the air for me, 50-50. Still trying to figure that out. I actually got injured really bad, man. Like I said, from Florida last time. So I don't know yet. We'll see. But maybe I might just go out there just to go show some love to everybody, see what it's like over there. I know Ocean State is going to be a huge tournament, so it's going to be crazy. And, we're lucky that Martial Arts Internet Network gets to back them up, so it's going to be a good time.
All right.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah, for sure.
Any closing remarks, guys?
Good.
Oh, yes, I have a closing remark. I want to apologize to our fans. It is my fault why we did not record last week. I personally had a lot going on in 1 week, and I thought I had more time than I really did. Our leader, captain of this group, said I had to come on and apologize to our fans, so I'm very sorry that we did not record. But made it up. So we're good.
I actually meant on social media, but that's no big deal. And I was halfway teasing with you, but it's all right.
Oh,
Everybody, stay safe, stay strong. We'll holler at you next week, and I am going to play our music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.